Yo, 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 what's up, people? It's your boy Riley Escobar holding it down for y'all once again. And this is the Just Send It podcast. This is episode, I think it's episode 18. And I'm not even gonna hold y'all, man. I wasn't even gonna mess with y'all tonight on this tip. I was gonna record tomorrow night, right? But it's already 11:11. Make sure y'all make y'all wish. And I guess we just going to do the show tonight, just before I have to hit the bed and be up in the morning. So, man, without further ado, let's get into the joint, man. Cue intro, please.
What's good, fam? You alright, man? You chillin', man? Yeah, yo, I'm good, yo. I'm good, yo. You know, Gucci, out here maintaining, trying to do my thing, yo. Good to know, man. What's good, fam? You good? Yeah, I'm good, yo. Try to flood the streets or whatever. You know how we do, man. We just try, we try to elevate. Briefcase state of mind.
So we fresh off the weekend of the first weekend of the Escobar Invitational, right? So I just thought about it. So we fresh off the first day of play, right? It was Saturday of the Escobar Invitational, the little esports tournament that was named after me, and the boy got put out. So I got put out, and the homie Kev got put out. However, the homie Rob is actually kind of helping behind the scenes, set up the stream and some other technical stuff. So, like, we still make an impact, like with or without playing. But like, man, the crazy thing, man, I can't believe I lost on stream. And the crazy thing is, like, man, I lost to a guy who was just random. Like, I didn't know who he was playing. His name wasn't even in the bracket box next to my name. It was just like 3 question marks. And it was just an opportunity match. And he just came in and just took the opportunity and like got the dub. So like, shout out to him. He was like, he was cool or whatever. That's the best way I could describe his play style. Like, if I would have played enough matches, like I could have, for sure downloaded him. But it wasn't until like maybe like the third match that I start to really like download how he plays. And man, like, it was a little bit too late after that. So what happened was, right, this is what happened. So like, I think I'm the second to last match on the evening. I'm either the second to last match on the evening or the third, right? So I get up there, they call my name. I put my music on because I already was, making my playlist prior to getting to the venue. I was, listening to my music, right? And I picked my main. Y'all know my main is Pikachu. I always got the Pokemon hat. I picked Pikachu. So, bro, he picks the villager, right? So I'm looking like, okay, cool. I seen this matchup before. I normally go against Isabel, the Animal Crossing one, but I was going against Villager. So I was like, okay, cool. I kind of know the kill moves and the gimmicks. However, like, I wasn't expecting the way that he played. So he was playing projectile heavy, and like, this is something I typically train for, right? I train to, be able to shield projectiles. But it was just that little, that little missile thing that the villager do that he ride on. That joint was, it hitbox is just super janky. Like, sometimes it registers, sometimes it don't. Sometimes it registers hella late. So every time I try to, like, dash in, do my two thunder jolts and dash in to net my grab and start my combo, like, right behind me when I grab is like the bomb. So like, I guess like the moment I pick a throw option, my hurt box kind of extend, and like the bomb just blow up, just making me drop my grab and like knocking me away. So that joint kept on happening. And then like, bro got he got this perfect, like dash attack, pot throw, and then a short hop, like slingshot thing. that like works. So if you jump over the pot, you'll land like right into the slingshot, right? And it was consistent as hell. And I gotta say, I gotta say that bro was really nice at that. Like the stuff that he did hit me with was super consistent. It's just that I didn't really get killed by much. Like what happened? Like I think I got killed by like an up smash. Um, the last game, the game that I lost, to close out the series, I got killed by what is called the bowling ball. He dropped the bowling ball on my head like once or twice. But like I didn't get killed by the typical villager stuff. But like bro was nice. And the crazy thing, so I lost the first match and I lost the second match. So after the second match, I was like, dang, like I already lost the game. Like it was best 2 out of 3, but it was 3 out of 5. So it was like, okay, I'm still winning. Like once I lost those 2 matches, I'm like, I'm still winning. You feel me? Like I'm just gonna play whatever my game, right? I went into the third match and I just started to go crazy with the combos. Like I really like already downloaded how he plays and stuff like that. I was like, okay, he's not really going to approach me. He's going to put up his shield a lot, so I'm just can just jump over that and just tomahawk and start netting grabs. But like the one thing I'm lacking with my character, and that's just on me, is just I need to find other ways to kill people. That's the only thing. And I'm a lab. Like this little tournament getting put out kind of like, gave me an inspiration to lab a little bit more. So I'm most definitely gonna start getting back on the lab and play. But we still got 2 more weekends of the Escobar Invitational. They doing the second round this upcoming weekend, and the third round they're gonna wind up doing the finals. So it's cool. And I gotta say, and I said it before, but I gotta say it again, shout out to Val and Score and everybody that is participating in this project because it's super clean. Like we had a nice little decent like warehouse spot downtown in Baltimore called Matt Technologies. So it's like a gaming lounge or a gaming establishment. So they got several monitors and TVs and gaming systems in there. So it's really dope. The space is really wide open, but like and it's deep. Like you can like it's really deep. Like the the front door and like the back wall have to be at least like 40 feet. And then the guy said something about the basement is even bigger than the first level. So like it's probably crazy big. And I think he be having stuff down there as well. So like y'all gotta go check that out. It's called MAP Technologies, but super dope place. The guy was super cool. It's just cold in there. That's the only thing. It's colder in the spot. But man, me and Kev got put out the tournament, and I think Kev did even worse than me. I think Kev got 3-0 and he was out of there. Like he was done. He didn't even win one. Wait, did he win one match? No, he didn't win one match. That was close, but it happens. It happens. And then also this past weekend, um, had the opportunity to go to the car show twice, right? So we had a Baltimore car show and the DC car show. And y'all know I'm always in the market to shop for my first car. So it was a good experience to really go. And I normally send tickets to friends who haven't yet got that license but interested in buying a car and driving. I normally send some tickets to them. So like hopefully going to the car show and hopping in and out the trucks and the cars will just give them the inspiration to like, finally like lock in and like get that license. But it was super dope. For some reason, I don't know why they did it, but they did both car shows the same week. So like the Baltimore car show was lacking Hyundai's it was Hyundai, it was a couple of Nissan, Honda. It was lacking like 4 or 5 like automakers, right? And it was like those was the cars that I really, really wanted to see. But like the crazy thing is when I went down there, right? Because I went down after work, and it was snowing Friday. I happened to see my sister down there. Of course, I would see my sister down there, but I see my sister down there, and she was sitting next to the cross track sport. She obsessed with this cross track joint. So she was sitting next to that, rapping with the lady. But I was in and out. And went down there, seen the new WRX. I was like, damn, this shit kind of cool for real. Like, I like this. Hopped in the legacy with the peanut butter seats. And I was like, dang, the seats is made of peanut butter. Like, that was hard. Hopped in the new Kias, and the new Kias kind of surprised me. I'm looking like, damn, these joints actually really nice. Like, dang, like the Korean comic is really showing up for real. So the Baltimore car show was cool, just something quick to go to. But with the DC car show, I actually went with the homies. Shout out to Miguel and shout out to the homie Khalil. And also I think Miguel's friend, I think her name is start with the T, is probably like Tina or something like that. But shout out to her. She's a photographer here in Baltimore, DC area, and she be doing her thing for real. But we walked around the car show, and it was fun. Like going to the DC car show with the fellas and friends was fun because we had the opportunity to hop in and out the cars like we normally, and we could talk cars during the course of that. Um, and that's super dope. Talking cars. What car should be the next car that we level up in, and like I'm gonna say it, and hopefully he listening. Miguel, you need to get that Corolla Apex, man. That would be super dope, man. You don't need a new car, but like you'll be super dope. Keep the Corolla that you got now, but get the Apex, man. Who knows? We could put an eBay turbo on it, but that joint was super dope. And like I said, shout out to the homie Khalil because he just finally got an opportunity to really show what he made of. He's a great architect, up and coming architect, and he's probably going to build a building soon or in the future. But he finally got an opportunity. And like I said to him, I was like, man, when you get this new job and you start and you on your little team of other interns, you want to be the best intern out of everybody, like without a question. Like, and just like kind of knowing him, he is, he's super dope and he's gonna really shine. But man, the car show was fun, man. It really was. What cars did I all right, top 5 cars at the show that just like wowed me. Uh what they had? They had the WRX. That was cool. The new WRX, that was cool. I really like that. The Kia Forte GT, that was hard. The Kia K5, that was hard too. I like that. They didn't have the Honda Civic hatchback and I really wanted to see that, but they didn't have that. But they did have that Lexus, that Lexus IS 500. Man, that was crazy. And if I ever get rich, man, I'm getting me a Lexus IS. And then a cool dude while I was there. Hold it down here. And I met a cool dude that said he owned like 3 or 4 Lexuses, and he about to be on his next one. He said he had 2 LS 400s. He had a IS, 300, the Altezza that he about to swap, but one he about to engine swap that, and then he in the market to get another one. So like, shout out to bro, man. He said, man, if you want to get a Lexus, man, get a Lexus, man. The IS 300 Altezza is good. Yeah, it's a 20-year-old car, but you should cop that. But bro was super dope. But the car show joint was super fun, and like I enjoyed the conversations. For some reason, Miguel, homegirl, she was funny as hell, man. I liked her, man. She said, man, I do whatever photography jobs that come my way, whether it's, fashion, wedding, da da da, porn, whatever, cars, shoot, whatever you want me to shoot, I'll shoot. And she was like, man, I got connections. You need a GTR. I know somebody got a GTR they can use for a photo shoot. You need this, you need that. She's hella resourceful, man. But I just overall just liked her spirit. Like she was like, man, oh yeah. She was in the military, used to be in the military, and now she worked for the government, sleeping all day. So shout out to her. And then we actually after the function, we actually went out to get tea, right? So we went to this tea spot in DC where I got, some Earl Grey tea, but I got a creme brulee. Creme brulee was hitting, by the way. It was really was. And we just sat down and talked and rapped and just chilled. And it was really fun, man. It was really fun. I need to find more spots in DC to go to. Uh, so it may be another DT trip on the way, but that was super duper dope, super duper cool. That was the weekend. So let's actually get into the topic of this pod. And like, man, I was thinking about what the topic should be. I don't know. Hold on. There. Let me see. Because, hold up. Oh, no, cool. I was thinking about what the topic should be for the pod, right? And I don't know. Hmm, hmm. That would be dope. I can't believe I just still had this on here. But I th- actually when I got back, right? So when I got back from the when I got back from DC, right? Like at the end of the weekend, got a message from my friend, right? And she was like, "Yo, she was like, I know." She was like, "Yeah, I know you don't want to be married one day, but if you was to get married one day, what would your partner look like?" You feel me? And I was like, dang, like I never said, I never said I didn't want to get married, but I was like, dang, like she hit me with a really good question. I normally be the person that hit people with the good questions, but this time she hit me with a really good question. So I was like, okay, this question just gonna, deserve some thought. It can't just be something surface thought. So I really thought about it, and I already kind of knew my answer, just me being me and doing what I normally do. So I was like, yeah. So if I was to get married, right, and I do want to get married one day eventually, maybe I don't know. I'll say down the line, but you never knows when these things may happen. When you may get that had that pressure on you, and you had no choice but to get engaged and get married. But I digress. But I was thinking about now, like, dang, like, what's one of the most like important things that I would like in a partner, or I feel like will be needed if I was to get married to somebody one day. And I said just to be financially yoked, right? Like, of course, we care about the love to a certain extent, and the communication got to be key because everybody be saying that same cliche shit, but people don't really be talking about being financially yoked, right? And I learned this actually from watching like past relationships of my foster mother and family, that like a lot of people relationship just got ruined because like the two couples, the two members of the party just had different views when it comes to like operating financially, right? And I know that not everything is about money, but money is super important. And it's funny, like when you watch these dating, wedding, advisors and stuff like that, they mention finances, even like wedding counselors and stuff like that. They mention finances a lot, right? And not just the finances, the person gotta be rich, but like, how are you wired? Are you wired as a spender? Are you wired as a saver? Are you doing joint accounts? Are you hiding? Are you separate? Like, what are y'all doing? Right. But I was thinking, I was like, yeah, I said my partner got to be financially yoked. Like similar to me, because y'all know in black households, financial literacy is not really taught. Actually, in school, financial literacy is not really taught, right? And like people are not, unless you seeking it out like I did. Like I was interested in it, so I took a lot of workshops on how money works, and I was observed and I asked questions about it. But like if you don't ask questions and seek the information out, you'll spend your money recklessly. No budget, not knowing how credit works, not knowing how should you own or rent, what's the pros and cons of each. Like, you don't know that stuff, that financial related stuff. You just won't know it, right? And just knowing where to find opportunities, financial opportunities. You may want to start a business one day. Like, you got to know, like, how much it may cost to start, estimated to start that business, or like, if you crowdfund, what you need to do, right? But it's so much in terms of this financial literacy and finances. It's as big as the world. It may be as big as the universe, to be honest. But like, to find somebody that's at least equally yoked as you, either like they can match you financially, right? In terms of knowledge financially, or they are in the process of actually pursuing that knowledge, like learning more about finances. That's super important to me and a partner, right? Because like, um I would love to build, wealth for future generations, right? Like, I can do the hard work, and my kids, they can just, add on to the work that I did. Because it's also is always too often that, in black households, we got to start from, ground one, ground well, we got to start from ground one. We got to start from, we just got to start from, yeah, no, ground zero. We got to start from ground zero every time. Like, every time we got to start from ground zero. No money saved, no nothing, no plans made for us, every time, and like be successful. And it would be nice just to give my kids a leg up, right? So having a good partner who's kind of equally yoked as you is super important. Like, they can advise you when you're making poor financial decisions, or like, babe, this is a good deal. Like, we should do this. And like, y'all have a mission, y'all have a mission for, y'all money, that y'all pulling in, not the each party is just working for the sake of working. So, like, I said that. I was like, yeah, so my future partner, she gotta be financially yoked as me, right? And also like family oriented, the same way that I am, to a certain extent. Like, y'all hear me talk about my family a lot, but I love them, right? And they know that um I know they love me too, right? So it's super important that she loves her family, and like her family loves her. Like, she got to know love, because it's tough. It's tough kind of dealing with somebody who, not as fortunate as you, and just don't know love, don't know the love of the family, and don't know how to love. That's a tough thing you got to do. And if you got to deal with that on top of already the challenges of being married, oh my goodness. So those two was the one of the biggest things I mentioned, was this, she got to be able to be family oriented, and then she got to be able to have financial lit. Because in the future, and I said in the future, I would like us to go into business for ourselves, right? Or create a business in which we both can take part in, right? So it could be uh it could be like what I'm doing now. It could be a podcast. So she may be a better talker and just, more visually appealing when it comes to being in front of the camera than I am. So like, it could be, babe, you go ahead and you talk your shit up here. You talk wild crazy to the audience, and I will, record it and edit it and all that. And that will be our business, right? Or like, my last relationship, I was in school at the time to be a chef, and then the girlfriend that I had, she was interested in being a baker, and I was thinking along the lines like, okay, when I graduate from school, right, I'll have a degree in culinary arts, and then pursue my bachelor's in media production, and then when she graduates school, hopefully she'll have a degree in baking, right? So like, if we was to open a restaurant, I could be the chef of the restaurant, and she could do the desserts. And that'll be like something that we have together, right? On top of our relationship. So like, I was like, that would be a super dope idea, right? And of course, my friend, she was like, dang, like, hard eyes, like a chef, baker couple, that would be super dope. Like, yeah, it'll be super dope. But like, that's kind of like where the mental at. And I like, even when I was just reached the point that I was tired of cooking, I could still just do the video production and she can just strictly do the baking, like how those channels on YouTube are. So it was like, oh, you know, we still could work together and grow our money and grow our resources and grow our influence and affect, the world around us. Um, by just, being able to teamwork, being able to work together. So that was just a super important thing about me. But I asked her, my bad. I asked her, I was like, where did that question come from? And I was like, dang, like I never told you. I said, I never told you that I wasn't interested in getting married. I just said that it may be tough, and my family members say that it's probably gonna be tough for you to get married because like you kind of know women a little bit too much. Whatever that means, right? But like I never said I never wanted to. I think like every guy kind of wants to get married. Like if I was to put a percentage on it, I would say I would say 75% of guys will want to get married one day. The only thing about it, and I was telling her this today. I said the only thing about guys is like guys want to get married when they feel like they're secure financially because they understand that marriage is not just a thing for today, but it is a lifetime thing, right? If they could get that far to a lifetime, they will love to. However, that's not typically how the world works. Every person that I talk to who got married or who's interested in married or got put in a position that they was married, uh, especially the guys, they said they wasn't ready. They wasn't earning the money they was earning, or they was living in the shack, or they was living at their parents' house when they initially got married, and they grew into the person they was. They wasn't already in that person that they was when they got married. And I was like, dang, like that shit is something fucking crazy because we want to do the opposite. We want to be established before we make the leap. But like, I guess it wouldn't be a leap of faith if you didn't, have to leap into that fate. You feel me? You feel me? But that was very interesting thing that came up. And I be asking them, right? Because I know this friend particular. I don't know. I just know that a lot of the ladies that I've been like conversating with lately are like in the process of kind of like pushing like their 30s, right? And to me, it just seemed like just based off of the conversations that I have with them, it just seemed like they want to be married or they have a huge interest in being married. And it's like that's kind of their focus. Even though they're not trying to make it their focus, like that's their focus. And I give it to them straight. When they try to like veer off or try to change the subject, I said like ultimately, I'm like, what is your ultimate goal? And like they try to change the subject and try to water it down with words. And I'd be like, ultimately, you really just want to be married and have a husband and have a family. And they be like, you got me. And I'm looking like, it doesn't take much to get you. Like, of course, that's probably what you want. It's something that you just don't have, and it's something that you probably long for a long time. But I did not ask them the question. I said, what have you been doing to set yourself up for this? Because like that's the thing. Uh things don't just happen. It takes a certain level of preparation for things to, get the way it gets. In terms of, you know, being married, being in a relationship, any progress, shit doesn't just happen. You feel me? Like it takes a level of preparation for it to pop off, right? So um, I said most people who are most likely to get married are people that's already in like a semi-stable relationship right now. So if you're single, your possibility of getting married, it just not there, right? Like unless you do the mail order bride thing or you marry somebody to get that green card or something like that, it is not happening. So like amongst my friend group, I think two people is in a relationship. Two of the fellas are in a relationship, and I think one fella is probably going to get married, maybe going to propose maybe in a year and a half. The other one, I don't know. I don't know. He gonna have to get some pressure. He gonna have to get that foot on his neck for him to actually like cave. But like, I was thinking like out of all the fellas I know, like those the two that's probably like next up. And then when I was thinking about all the people that I know around like in my circle, I only know about three people that got married. My foster mother just got married, but she already been married two or three other times. So, she already took the plunge. Sure, she's not surprised by what it entails. Then my coworker and ex-boss, Shabazz, he got married, and I think his girlfriend was pressing down on him. Plus, she was hella loyal. Like hella loyal. She was putting up with his shit. Yeah, he deserved to marry her. And then of course the homie Terrell. But Terrell was actually grinding. I think he talked about getting married or proposing like maybe a couple months before he did it. He was like, I need to get this money right so I can move out my folks' house. And then I probably get engaged. Right. And I think at the time he was trying to save maybe like a couple bands. I think he was trying to save like 40, 35, 40 bands or something like that. And he probably was at maybe like 15 or 20 or something like that. But he was on a mission. And next thing you know, like it just popped up like, yeah, what's the name proposed? And I was like, man, I knew he was gonna propose. Like he said, like this is what I need to do, and this is how I need to do it. And like he went for it. So I was like, man, I'm not really surprised. But out of all the people I know, only like three people are married. Like, so it was just very interesting and crazy the conversation me and Shorty was having. And she kind of said the same thing. She was like, she don't really, all her friends are kind of like single. And they lady friends, all her lady friends are kind of single. And like she really don't know too many of her friends who's currently married. So it's kind of interesting. Some people say marriage is extinct. Some people say it's still where it's at. I'm kind of curious as to what the numbers actually say about that. But the facts still remain. Like if you want to, I guess, getting married or getting in a relationship or whatever, you got to hit the ground running. Like you can't just wish for it. Like you can't just wish for it and not do the work. And I guess that was one of the conversations we was having this weekend while we was out. It was because we always sometimes for some reason stuff always either double back to relationships or it comes out every now and then. But it was like, oh, okay, you want a girlfriend or you want to be dating? Like, yeah, okay. What are you looking for? What are your preferences? That what we was talking about. We was talking about preferences. Shout out to Shorty, right? I think her name Tina. She was like, we were talking about what are your preferences, right? My, what are you looking for? What are your red flags? What are your deal breakers, right? And like a friend of mine, I guess like he wasn't quite sure as to what it is, right? Like she said, right? She was like, yeah, she was like, do you have a dating app? And he was like, I'm not right quite sure that dating apps work. And she was like, I use my dating app to like kind of, lock in. She said, I use my dating app to kind of like get a sense of what's my type. And I was like, dang, I said, that's fire that you use it in that capacity because that makes a lot of sense. You use it to see like who you're attracted to and who you're not, or like who's in your area. That's really good. And she said, well, I made more friends through the dating apps than romantic relationships. And I was like, dang, like the apps are pretty useful for new friendships. Like if you looking to just vibe with somebody and become friends and kind of see where it goes from there. It's kind of great in that aspect. These people are looking for conversation. Most of them are looking for conversation. So like they're a little bit open. versus just straight DMing somebody randomly via Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and they not sure you scamming or not. You feel me? So it was very interesting, the conversations that we was having about that. But the facts that remain, like, if you interested in doing that, then you gotta kind of lock in what your preferences are. And I don't know, maybe in a future part we can talk a little bit more about preferences, because uh that's a very interesting thing. I know people tend to get grilled on, like, what type of people they prefer, whether they prefer somebody skinny, somebody big, whatever the case may be. And sometimes people don't even know you know what qualifies as their preference. I think we was talking about, um somebody said they don't want a big girl, right? Right. And it was like, what is a big girl? And they were like somebody that's like 175. And it was like, no, that's not a big girl. Like 175 could be chubby, or 175 can be fit for her size if she's 6 feet tall. So it's like, big isn't necessarily, big, or, skinny isn't necessarily skinny. Like, it really depends, like, on a lot. So it was very interesting that we was having that conversation. But man, it was a good weekend this weekend. It was a social weekend this weekend, more social than I'm usually with. And I needed that, needed to get my troubles off of what happened with granddad, and just, you know, eventually going back to work at the old spot, the old account. So it's been good, man. We're gonna keep on trying to ride this wave all the way through February. And today is February 1st. So it's Black History Month. So if I ain't said already, man, happy Black History Month. We're gonna set some goals this month and accomplish some goals this month. So I don't know what it is. What we want to do? Do we want to do a video project? Do we want to drop some music? Do we want to make some merch? Like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do this month to commemorate Black History Month? Or do we want to? We gotta do something. We gotta do something. Ooh, or maybe do like a black movie marathon. That joint will be crazy too. Uh, see, can I get the squad together? See, can we react to some funny black movies or the Boondocks? And you'll find a way to get some hoes over here. I can get some hoes over here, which I know about my space. So I don't know. That joint gonna be crazy, but uh, I guess that's it. Without further ado, man, hopefully I enjoyed this, man. This is episode 18 of the Just Send It podcast. We gonna call this podcast. What episode we gonna what we gonna call this before I go? Damn. We gonna call this uh, uh hmm, maybe marriage. Me? Maybe that. But I don't know. Uh I'm out.